All right, so no celebration for my Celtics tonight. We now go to a Game 5 in Boston where they better win, man, because a Game 6 in Dallas is a Game 6 in Dallas. Doesn't matter how you got there. And as far as what happened in this game, I mean, of course, Luka was fantastic off rip. He's going at Drew or Derek White very early on, bullying them on possessions, fade twos over Sam Hauser or Horford, or drawing fouls on Horford or Tillman. I mean, again, like it's been stated, right? The Celtics are betting on not going crazy with the help all the time on Luka, two to the ball and all that stuff. Although in this game, Dallas, I mean, eventually they just got whatever they wanted. Well, the one trade-off to that potentially is if Luka's just making every single shot, then suddenly it can look a little different on top of, Kyrie making threes where like the Celtics are trying to switch the screen. He's open for that 1 second, or, I mean, he got Tillman or Drew as well in a couple of plays. But also I thought Dallas, they pushed the pace more. We also saw them defensively have their best game of this series where I thought they did a really, really great job at clogging the paint to make the Celtics uncomfortable on drives, and then also still doing a good job closing out. So an example of that is like Josh Green helping off of Derek White, who's in the opposite corner of Tatum, who's driving. And then the pass goes to the other side of the floor. I think it went to Jalen and then to Derek White on the corner. And PJ had to basically like close out to Jalen a little bit and then close to Derek White, who then drives. And eventually it becomes Tatum just getting stonewalled at the rim by Luka. Basically just forcing the Celtics to make extra passes and being there to contest those shots, right? You had a couple plays where, Luka and Kyrie are putting two to the ball on Tatum on a Drew screen. Drew's open in the middle of the floor, then Kleba is just ignoring Horford in the corner, and Drew's got to take a floater. Or a similar thing where it led to Luka having to close out on Pritchard, and, he did a good job running him off the line. And then the Mavs are just clogging the paint inside, and he's missing a pull-up too. Lively had a couple of really good switches where Tatum or Jalen were hesitating a little bit after the switch, and then kind of nothing came from it. I thought the Celtics also helped him out with a couple of bad threes. I thought Jalen especially had one pretty bad deep three early in the shot clock. And also just some solid plays where like Drew might try to drive on Maxi Kleba, and Maxi's right there, and that was like after Jalen didn't drive on an opportunity. And Kyrie had that great defensive possession on Tatum where he just held up really strong after Tatum got the switch when he screened for Derek White. I think that's what it was. And then he drew the offensive foul. Like, it did feel like the Mavs' perimeter defense was similar in this game to what it was in the fourth quarter of the previous game where, I mean, the Celtics, they still won, but obviously Dallas made it very close. Where it just felt like the breathing room for the Celtics just was not there. They were not able to casually just do whatever they wanted with the ball, on top of, again, the rotations in the back end being really good. And, I mean, Porzingis not being there matters, man. I get it. They won the last game, but there's more leeway with bringing extra help when he is not there spacing them out. And then also, on the other end, we saw more of Dallas's role guys scoring. And, I mean, this game was effectively over by, really like midway second quarter. I mean, you got nobody picking up Josh Green in transition, so he's able to get a putback on a Kyrie three. You got, Exa made a three on the wing where Jalen was just basically ignoring him for the sake of bringing an extra guy kind of to Luka. He wasn't doubling Luka, but it was definitely a, I'm here for help type of thing. Of course, Derek Lively just had, an amazing little sequence where, he makes a corner three, then he forces Drew to try to throw this lob thing to Tillman, where he then contests Tillman. He has to, turn around in half a second to do it. And then, because Dallas pushed off of this play, which, again, that's something they did a little bit more in this one, just pushing more. He gets that lob where Tatum was kind of caught in no man's land underneath the rim. I mean, Gafford also had a foul off of a putback where Pritchard ended up switched onto him as well. Basically anything that could go wrong for the Celtics in this one and right for Dallas pretty much did. I mean, hell, Drew made a desperate pass to Jalen when they were down 10 in the first quarter that goes out of bounds. That was kind of the energy of the whole night for him. So now we go back to Boston for a Game 5, and look, this Porzingis injury, with the million words that Shams used to describe it, it still matters. I understand they won Game 3, and even then it got super dicey late, but, the way that you can help off of Horford or you can help off at Tillman is just different than Porzingis. We all understand that. The way Porzingis can also, we saw him beating those switches in Game 1, right? If he's not there, you don't have that extra thing in your offense. The other thing, too, is we have now seen some stretches here of Dallas playing really good defense against the Celtics. Obviously this game. Of course, the fourth quarter of the last game. Now, luckily, the lead was so big that the Celtics, they squeezed it out by the end. And hell, even Game 2, the Celtics' offensive rating in that game was 110. And just for context, in the regular season, their offensive rating was 121. In the playoffs, it's been 118. And then you combine all that with the way that we have seen Luka on the road rip teams' hearts out before. Game 7 against the Suns. Of course, what he did against the Wolves in the previous series. All I'm saying, especially after seeing him win by, at the time of me doing this, it's a 30-point game. I am not going to assume that Game 5 is going to be easy at all. So there you go. That's all I got. We got some drama in the finals, at least.